Hey everyone, in this little series we're going to talk about rolling back attack defense as well as defending the truck position, because I haven't really seen any material out there on that stuff. So as always, before we get into the actual defense, we'll just do a quick video showing you guys the rolling back attack as well as some of the concepts behind it. So one of the main ways that people like to set up the rolling back attack is from 3/4 mount, where once I am here and my opponent hooks my leg, what I'm looking at doing is extending my toes out to make sure that I'm curling over their shin. I'm bringing myself over and sitting on top of the knee. I can triangle my legs from here. I'm rolling downwards at a 45-degree angle while I control the leg. And I look to control and get myself underneath my opponent's hips. Whoever's hips are higher in this truck position, or right when we're about to start getting into the truck position, is losing. Because what I'm looking at doing is occupying the space right behind his tailbone here with my hips, so that I'm able to start exposing his back and being able to actually move to back control. So my shin right now is behind his knee, and it's really important that my foot comes on top of my ankle or foot, anywhere on my shin, to reinforce so that my left leg is actually doing most of the work here. I've seen quite a few people injure themselves here because they're using their knee. If we look at our legs here, Kevin's leg is in a leg press alignment. I technically have the strong lever to the hip, so I will be able to win this battle and expose his back. But look how flared my leg is. My hip is externally rotated. While this acts as a shock absorber, is what Ryan Hall talks about in his rolling back attack video. If Kevin extends his leg right now, yeah, I don't really lift my hips off the mat here because my knee can absorb some force, but that's not necessarily always a good thing either. And especially if I look to drive Kevin down and I'm trying to do it with just my right leg, his leg press versus this, I'm going to put a lot of pressure into my knee. By doing this with a stomp, I'm now relaxing my right leg. My right leg isn't actually doing work here, so that my left leg can be the leg press. So that as Kevin starts to leg press against me, my left leg can drive him down, exposing the back, so I can move to back control. Some people like to triangle here. It accomplishes the same thing. I just lose the ability to generate force to really drive him over, but because my hamstring now reinforces the back of my ankle, if Kevin was to leg press into my shin right now, my left leg can still take most of the pressure, and so this leg gets to relax. I do want to be a little bit to have some flexibility here, but if you're not flexible, just make sure you keep pressure here and never let your knee and shin get driven up towards your hips. Once we've lifted them like this, we're controlling the opposite leg here so that I have rotational control of his body. My right leg is controlling his right leg so that he's unable to turn the one direction to his left. But if I don't control this leg, he's going to be able to turn to his right now, roll, and end up probably, well, he could reset, but he could just come up on top and be in half guard. So what we want to do, if you just roll that shoulder cover, here, is I make sure that I have control at the top of his leg here, grabbing up at the toes, grabbing here. It can also be right around the hip if you can't get access to the leg or you're gonna be switching. I just need to make sure I migrate control up the left side of his body so that at any point he can't roll away. So one of the typical ways is starting to look at moving towards baseball bat control, that they call it in the 10th planet system, where I'm underhooking and grabbing this arm, reinforcing, grabbing the wrists. I can even put my elbow inside the armpit here, so that if Kevin tries to curl his arm right now, he's pulling into my forearm. It's a strong frame. From here, I move to a half claw to the shoulder, so that then I'm going to be able to adjust my hip angle and bring my arm around the head, securing the head and arm, getting like seatbelt control. Obviously, we can streamline that and go much faster. It just depends on how our opponent is reacting here. It's been demystified essentially for a while now because of how Ryan Hall taught it properly. I'm not rolling straight ahead, and I'm not rolling up at a 45, because if I roll upwards, I'm gonna have to try and take the weight of Kevin's hips and lift it with me. And this is quite difficult to do. Whereas as I'm in this position, I control the leg, I roll over my right shoulder, and because I roll down at a 45-degree angle, you're going to see his hips can stay quite low the whole time until they eventually just rise up on top of me. From here, I'm controlling this leg. I move immediately to my foot on my ankle here so I can safely start stomping the leg. Here, if he keeps his arm nice and close, I can even just grab at the bicep here. Even just by having this grip, I have something attached to him that if he tries to turn away from me right now, he can't do so, or at least do so very easily. If he does manage to keep on forcing it while he's exposing his back, I switch to a half claw, and now I'm able to start moving in immediately to attacking the rear naked choke and putting in my last hook. So it's a very dynamic movement. It can be done from many other places like double underpassing, setting it up from twister side control is very popular, but we are rolling and attacking, looking to control the back of our opponent's hips and elevate it off the ground so that we're able to continue exposing the back and move to full-on back control. There's also submissions and stuff like that from the truck, or obviously moving into the twister. So that's just a gist of the rolling back attack in the truck position, and now we're going to start moving into ways that we can defend it.